I give the floor to you.
Yes, and just my question is, at what time do we finish?
Well, we have 40 minutes for each method. We can probably give something like 5 minutes between the methods so that we can, just run to the toilet or for a cup of tea or something. And maybe 10, maximum 15 minutes at the end to discuss some final questions.
Okay. Or we can have the questions within these 40 minutes, if people are ready with a question.
If there are such questions, yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So I'm not sure I am able to see you all. No, 16 participants. So yes, I think I can see you all. I don't know you all though. I haven't met all of you. First question, do you all speak English?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Even Vasilis does, yes, okay. You remember me? Some of you remember me, some of you don't remember me. My second question is, have you watched the video that we sent you?
Yeah.
I can see some nodding. Okay, thank you. So you know me very well, and I don't need to say much about myself. It's just that I'm wearing golden earrings, and it has nothing to do with Willie Nelson and his songs. But it's a very special day on which we can wear something golden. But I will not tell you what is the reason. Later, if you remind me the last few minutes that we're together, we can discuss this subject again. And so, as I mentioned the first time we met, I told you almost everything. I told you my story. I told you who my characters are. I think I tried to introduce my approach. So now you can really fall asleep and get your siesta 40 minutes. I'm joking. Okay, and you saw the video, and in that video there's something that I mentioned. I spent the last 8 years of my life teaching, and teaching with the help of stories. The method that I use is different, but storytelling is very much involved in it, because even when we try to teach grammar or vocabulary, our textbooks are not the usual textbooks with some text and then some, I don't know, explanations, grammar explanations, or vocabulary or anything, but it's a text which runs English, one side is the English, the other one is the translation. So we use stories all the time in the method which I have been using. And I realized that this is something that works with children, but first with adults. And when I started teaching the first time, I had to think of some new identity, a story. I think of a story that I invent for myself, and I was a princess. It has nothing to do with the current situations. 8 years ago, it was just a crown. So I was a princess, and having a different identity and having a different story about myself, or inventing every day something new or something interesting, I could teach different subjects or different facts. And I think I mentioned about Charlie Chaplin. I was in love with Charlie Chaplin, and I had another character. I don't know whether you have seen him or not. Do you know him? No? Yes? No? You never met him? His name is, he's Japanese. He's a present from the Emperor of Japan, and his name is a very Japanese name, Mistake. And the way our mistakes look, they're like this. They're fluffy, they're nice, they're cuddly, and we love them. And I just want to remind you that I used to teach adults with the help of pets and stories. And then when I started teaching children different, either English or we even teach storytelling and creative writing. We work with children, and it's worth using the same methods. If it works with adults, I've noticed that it works with children too, because if we treat children as adults, it's easier, and vice versa, of course. Now the first time we met, I introduced you, I told you about my idea of giving you a story about the cave, a cave in Bulgaria, Magura Cave, which I just listed some facts. And this time I decided to test your knowledge first. So I think we'll start with a test. All you need is a piece of paper, any piece of paper, and a pen, and you write down like this the numbers between 1 and 10. There are only 10. Okay, initial test. There are only 10 questions, more than 10 facts, but still there are 10 questions. I think you can see them all. I did not include all the images of the flags and the name of the project. I just added a golden ratio teaching logo so that it won't distract you from the facts and what you're going to read. And Zori is going to help me. We'll just have a look. Please take a pen and write down your answers now. And maybe, because I don't want you to get too bored, I will ask each one of you to read one of the questions. Okay? And my approach will be, I have your images lined up next to the presentations, and I will just ask each one of you. So question number 1. And I think it's Zori, she's the first, so probably because she's the host. So would you like to read the question?
Sure. So the first question is, Magura Cave is famous for its colony of bats, quality of Bulgarian wine, prehistoric cave paintings, all of the above, or none of the above.
Okay, so you write number 1 and you write A, B, C, D, E. I think you're ready. Do you need more time? I don't think so.
No.
Okay. So Vitor, you're the second in my line. Would you like to read it?
Belogradchik is a town situated in the Bulgarian Southwest. Is it true or false?
Yes. You don't need to know the answers. You can just guess or write whatever you think is correct. Trust your gut feelings. Number 3 is Andrea.
So the prehistoric wall paintings of Magura have great resemblance with those of Alistrati caves in Greece, the Benagil cave in Portugal, the Grotta dei Cervi in Italy, Movile cave in Romania.
Okay.
But I don't know even the one in Romania.
Let alone that one from Bulgaria.
Okay. So I think you're ready. Number 4 is my friend Elsa.
Okay, Lake Rabisha is the largest inland natural freshwater lake in Bulgaria. True or false? So let me look into your eyes and see the answer. True or false? Okay, I have it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And then who is next? I don't know. How can I see the others? Yeah. Vasilis, it's you, my friend. But you need to switch on your microphone.
Okay, sorry for the delay. Question number 5. Magura Cave is A, 15 million years old, B, 10,000 years old, and C, I have absolutely no idea.
Thank you. I think you're ready now, and I'm not sure how your name is pronounced. I'll try to read it. Ralu.
Ralu, it's correct.
Yes,
Ralu, I'm quick actually. It's Ralu, thank you.
Κοινωνική
Drawings and important.
Από όταν κατοικήθηκε το Magura Cave, θρησκευτικές τελετές, κυνήγι.
I'm sorry, Vasilis.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. The drawings represent important events of the society that had occupied the Magura Cave, religious ceremonies, hunting scenes, among which are A, the fertility dance, B, a woman wearing an apron and huge hair rolls, C, the hunting ceremony, D, the ostrich soup recipe, E, the solar calendar, F, a female figure with a waist bow. Please write down only the relevant statements. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I answer to the question?
No, just write down. Write down. And the next one in line is Antonio, so it's your turn. Question number 7.
So the medium used to create art in the cave was crayon, gel glistening in the dark, bat guano, ostrich blood.
Okay, so you just write number 7 and you write A, B, C, or D. And then I have Anka.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
The paintings have been estimated to be made 8,000 years ago when my best friend went there for a summer holiday. This is for sure the right answer. And C, 1990 years ago.
Okay, thank you. And question number 9, I can see Jose. Jose.
Yes.
Jose.
How many images have been identified in Magura Cave? A, less than 500 images. B, my nephew drew one, but I hope nobody noticed. C, more than 750 images. D, I'm not sure. I had a couple of glasses of Magura wine when I last visited.
Thank you. And question number 10 is, one second, Susanna.
Yes, the solar calendar was used for fortune telling, a very successful business in prehistoric era, to count the days in the calendar month, to impress a lady one was dating, to book flights to Italy, Portugal, Romania, and Greece to meet people we can't wait to meet.
Okay, thank you very much. So you, do you need to see all the questions again, or maybe not? Okay, so that was your first test. Now, to those of you who have not met me and who don't know the story of the cave, the reason I chose this presentation and the reason I started talking about the cave was because storytelling is a very ancient way of sharing information. And so
Can't hear. Oh.
You went to siesta time.
Yeah, oh, she froze.
Yeah, there is a problem. Unstable connection.
Well, let's hope she has another laptop with her and the phone. Hopefully she will be able to join us quickly. Did any of the facts that were mentioned ring a bell from the first meeting? Did you remember something from back then?
You know, I wasn't at the first meeting, so I had to figure out the answers and make some connections between the questions. So it was the questions that helped me more.
Yeah, it is. It's something quite interesting how the brain works.
Yeah,
but I shouldn't tell the story. It's Ina's story, and she's supposed to.
You know, it's a surprising cave because I usually associate caves with hidden dark places, and to display a solar calendar was, isn't it a solar calendar displayed? I mean,
there is.
Yeah. Yes, it is. So how come that a solar calendar is the main subject caves?
It could be an image in the cave, presented as an image and not inside,
yes.
you know,
yes,
as
a symbol.
as an instrument. Yeah.
Yes, as a symbol. Okay, very intriguing.
The unlucky online tools that we have to use these days.
I might call Ina and try. I don't know if it would work with another channel or just to see what happens.
She could have also tuned up her phone for Zoom because she now also has that possibility. So hopefully she's trying with the phone, or she's restarting the laptop, or yeah. But I could also call her and check.
But you can say the truth. This was made for a purpose. We will remain with those questions with no feedback. That was a joke.
No, that's not the idea.
Oh.
I have
Leaping over them.
I have at least that much information that was not the initial idea. Yeah, and of course it's not the initial idea for the internet to break up, but this is what happens.
Yeah, it happens, so it's okay.
Yeah. The thing is, when you have something planned for a period of 40 minutes, it's not so nice. But let me check.
Okay, can I say something? Can I propose something?
Sure, of course,
okay.
Vasilis.
Let's try to make a story with Ina's disappearing.
Right.
Disappearance. Why Ina disappeared?
Okay, is it going to be a chain story? Each of us gives a sentence?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Okay, so you propose that, you start.
Okay. To be honest, I just thought about the question and not about the answer. But okay, I will try. I think that Ina is the directress of this cave since the prehistoric time. So that moment when the people of the cave saw that they are very famous and very popular and they are used in a European project, they started a huge strike because they don't like to share their history with us, maybe.
Okay, who wants to continue? Is there a volunteer? Okay.
Come on, guys, it's very simple.
Okay, I can continue. And one of them, a very modern cave person, picked up the smartphone and called Ina and said, you know, you're doing promotion that you haven't negotiated with us, and we need to discuss this in advance. So we cut you off with your internet connection. So who would like to continue?
But then a bat flew over, an ancient bat, and he actually grabbed her because he wanted to take her to the heart of the cave, because there she would be able to get such an energy that could never break, an energy that is much more than, and she would just bring us this energy right now. Actually, she just called me and she said that this energy is coming any moment and the connection won't be interrupted. So she actually sacrificed some of her time to bring us this special kind of connection. So somebody can continue.
Okay, so it seems that bats are a source of lots of things, viruses, but also energy. Okay, why not? So.
And this teaches us that we should cherish every single human being, human, animal, and plant.
But in order to come back, she had to make a kind of sacrifice. So the choice was on the puppet, which was killed in order to come back to the meeting.
I'm sure that the bunny helped her.
There was some
bunny bring her back.
Discussion which I didn't hear.
No, don't worry, you don't want to hear.
Never mind, Dina, just continue. You'll see the recording after.
Anyway, a question, was it the bat which brought you back to us? Was it a bat?
Was the bunny.
A cave bat?
It was
told you it was the bunny.
Mistake. You know?
Okay.
He's getting married actually, and his fiance's name is correct. So we'll see. The Magura Cave, as I mentioned, why did I decide to talk about it? It's one of the oldest caves in Europe. It's 15 million years old. And its paintings date back to 8,000 years ago. And one of the stories that I told you about was about George and his wife. And he came back home from the hunt, carrying a very big chunk of meat on his shoulder. And his wife, who was cooking, or she was waiting to cook the ostrich soup, she asked him, "How was your day, darling?" And you can imagine her with this waist bow around her waist, and taking care of the children and taking part in the fertility dances that her husband later was painting on the walls of the cave. And he started telling her the story about the hunting ceremonies, and they encountered some ostriches. Then one of his friends started singing and playing some music instruments. So all the ostriches fled, and he said that he doesn't need to show her 750 images to give her the idea of his day. So that was the first story I told you. Now I wrote another story for you, and I will ask Zori to play it for you, for me. And it's a PowerPoint presentation, just because I thought it will be easier for you to read with me. And I think it's the same story, the same men. So I'll just play some music, because when I read stories, I play classical music. This one is Beethoven, and it's Beethoven's Silence. I love this piece very much. Okay, so I hope you hear it. If you don't, doesn't matter. I do. I hear. So I will start reading, and you can read along with me. A shadow crossed the quiet surface of the lake. George held his breath. It would never cease to amaze him, a huge inland natural freshwater lake in a cave. He had given the lake a secret name, Rabisha, and that was actually his wife's reaction when she saw the portraits he had sketched of her on the walls of the cave. Rabisha, she used to say. Well, the bad guano he used to create his art was not very romantic, but she adored the images he depicted. A woman's figure wearing a waistbow and dancing away the secret fertility dance. He loved sitting there at least once in his long, busy day with a glass of wine. Some claimed that it was as good as the one from Champagne region. All the turmoil of the life of prehistoric men would vanish. And then it was his art. Being a hunter and a provider of meat for the soup was not enough for him. He had heard from his friend Antonio in Grotta dei Cervi in Italy that they had managed to create thousands of similar pictures, but George was the only artist in his tribe and managed only 750. They were beautiful, though, so George could only hope that 8,000 years into the future, there would be people coming to his beloved Magura Cave in northwestern Bulgaria to admire them. It had taken him months when he was a child to memorize that Belogradchik was to the north, right where Danube River is, and somehow to the left part of the map. His mother kept humming a song, no, north, where, west, and even drawing the map with the Danube to help him retain that information. So, northwest was the word he now knew by heart. But it was time to go back to work. Well, in this case, to hunting. George was a hunter, and as all his fellow cavemen did, followed very strictly the hunting ceremony. Since this ceremony was as secret as the fertility dance, but with a more immediate impact, a dinner for the whole family, George wouldn't share it with no one, not even with his beloved wife, Rabisha, like the lake. They had several children, a pet tiger, and a fabulous family life. She would cook the ostrich soup when there were ostriches for dinner, and anything else when there were no ostriches, and even managed to feed the children with a beautiful story and a song when the hunting rituals were interrupted by a singing fellow and there was no dinner to cook, just some tea before bedtime. But George loved his wife not for the cooking. Deep down in his prehistoric heart, he was very sensitive, and I would even say romantic. Looking at the solar calendar and its black and white squares on the walls of the cave, he tried to figure out the days in the solar tropical year and find information about festivals and his tribe. And most importantly, they could plan their holidays. Well, not Italy, Portugal, Greece, Romania. It was not very easy to reach these tourist destinations. He could only exchange letters and images with his friends in these countries. Bats came very handy in this situation. Sometimes they were more reliable than the post office. And these colonies of bats have been living in the cave since the cave appeared and would remain there for centuries on end, 15 million years later. George took a final sip of the wine. Time to go and kiss his family. I hope you enjoyed the story. And do I have only 5 more minutes? What I would do if we had a bit more than 5 more minutes, I would ask you to read the text, and I would ask you to some questions, or I would have prepared some games that we could play with this text. But what we will do now is we started with a initial text, a test, sorry, and would you like to take the final test, just to check how many facts have you learned? That's the final one. Magura Cave is famous for its colony of bats, quality of Bulgarian wine, prehistoric cave paintings, all of the above, none of the above. So you can write down next to that first answer your new answer if it's different, or just write the old next to the first answer. Write the new answer. Okay, question number 2. Belogradchik is a town situated in the Bulgarian Southwest. True? False? Question number 3. The prehistoric wall paintings of Magura have great resemblance with those of Alistare Cave in Greece, the Belogradchik Cave in Portugal, the Grotta dei Cervi in Italy, Movile Cave in Romania. Never been there. Lake Rabisha is the largest inland natural freshwater lake in Bulgaria. True? False? Magura Cave is 15 million years old, 10,000 years old. I have absolutely no idea. The drawings represent important events of the society that had occupied the Magura Cave, religious ceremonies, hunting scenes, among which are the fertility dance, a woman wearing an apron and huge hair rolls, the hunting ceremony, the ostrich soup recipe, the solar calendar, a female figure with a waist bow. Please write down only the irrelevant statements. The medium used to create art in the cave was crayons, gel glistening in the dark, bat guano, ostrich blood. The paintings have been estimated to be made 8,000 years ago, when my best friend went there for a summer holiday, 990 years ago. How many images have been identified in the Magura Cave? Less than 500 images. My nephew drew one, but I hope nobody noticed. More than 750 images. I'm not sure. I had a couple of glasses of Magura wine when I last visited. The solar calendar was used for fortune telling, a very successful business in prehistoric era, to count the days in the calendar month, to impress a lady one was dating, to book flights to Italy, Portugal, Romania, and Greece, to meet people I'm dying to meet. So that was very fast for me and insufficient, but I think you got some ideas. What do you think about the first and the second test? Did you get better results? Mm-hmm. And did you get a better understanding of the facts and yes, no, yes, okay.